Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
2021 college football week 8. We're up to week 8 now, and we're going to be talking about what we're expecting to happen, and we're mentioning all the current undefeated teams, except for, I think it was just Georgia who has a bye week.
Yep,
and
Georgia and
Michigan State. They both have bye weeks. They're both undefeated. And so let's jump right into it. Number 14, Coastal Carolina at App State. It's going to be Wednesday night this week, so an early game.
So we saw App State get absolutely abused by Louisiana and Lafayette. So in my mind, Coastal's probably going to do something very similar.
A little more abuse.
Yeah. So I don't see Coastal struggling, and I don't think they can struggle.
Yeah.
If they want to.
Oh yeah.
Remember, so Coastal's goal here is stay undefeated. Hope Cincinnati loses, and hope that somehow with Cincinnati losing, that Cincinnati goes back far enough that Coastal's number one in the group of 5, right? But Cincinnati's strength of schedule is exponentially better than Coastal's. So I just, maybe a 2-loss Cincinnati and an undefeated Coastal would make something happen. So I guess we'll just see.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you have a 1-5 Tulane. Poor old Tulane. Yeah, they look like they were going to put up some fight there at the beginning, but they've had a rough time. They're going to be at number 21, SMU. We're mentioning this because SMU is also undefeated.
Yeah, if SMU keeps playing well whenever they play Cincinnati, that could be fun, right? Two undefeated teams going against each other. Another chance for Cincinnati to show why they're number 2.
SMU
number 2. Cincinnati's number 2?
Yes.
Wow.
Number 2. I know. Yeah. Cincinnati number 2. They're going to be facing a 1-5. Speaking of 1-5s, a 1-5 Navy. Navy's only win was over UCF. A struggling UCF at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Cincinnati, just like SMU, will probably win this one big.
Yeah, it looks like that. I mean,
can't see
these games are only worth mentioning because these teams are undefeated.
Yeah. They're undefeated. 3-3 Northwestern is going to face number 6 Michigan. And Michigan, as we were talking about, Michigan and Michigan State are going to play the following week. Michigan State gets that bye before that. Pretty important.
Thoughts
Both
on this
of them
game?
Should be undefeated.
Michigan, watch out. It's Northwestern. I know they're 3-3, but Northwestern loves to pull at least one big upset in the Big Ten every year.
Would that not be a disaster for Michigan?
Pay attention, play some football. Jim Harbaugh, you got to coach these kids, got to make sure that they're going to be doing 100% out there.
Yeah. 4-3 Tennessee, trash throwing Tennessee is going to be at Tuscaloosa playing number 4 Alabama.
Look, I'm all about Alabama losing some games throughout the season. Man, I hope they just win 100-0 against Tennessee.
Yeah.
I just want it to be an absolute demolishing.
I want them to put a lot of points on the board as well. Number 22, San Diego State, coming off a win. They're going to be at 6-1 Air Force. Okay, this is interesting.
Air Force just came off of a good win against Boise State.
They did.
At Boise State's home, too. So I know Air Force, they're playing well this season. Their only loss was a very high-scoring game against Utah State, which, like I said, a lot of Mountain West teams, you just don't want to count them out right now. They're all going to be competing at some level.
This is big for San Diego State. I mean, this is going to be a tough game. Facing that triple option.
And look, Air Force is so disciplined in the way that they play football. Yeah. It's very impressive, honestly, very comforting, go America. But we're mentioning all 3 of the
Navy, Air Force,
and Army. We'll mention Army next, but so we'll just see what happens with Air Force here. This would be a crazy good win for them. If they win this, they're already almost ranked, so it would put them inside the top 25. San Diego State, if they win this, it's a big win for them. I think it'll move them in the top 20 for sure. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Number 16, Wake Forest, also undefeated. They're facing 4-2 Army.
Yeah, Army's not been super bad this year. 4-2. Yeah. I think they'll put up a fight against Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest probably has the more talent. Being a part of the ACC, being able to get those higher caliber players, but I'm not certain what the outcome of this game is going to be.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
Number 3, Oklahoma is going to be facing a limping, sad 1-5 Kansas. Again, mentioning
Kansas
this one
is always pretty sad.
Even though, again, I don't think either one of us are super impressed with Oklahoma. Somehow they're undefeated at this point.
Yeah, we're really not. We're really not super impressed with Oklahoma. But Kansas, no. If Oklahoma struggles in this game, take them out of the top 4, please.
Yeah. Number 8, Oklahoma State is going to be at 4-2 Iowa State.
Man, Oklahoma State's schedule is tough.
It is.
I feel like every week we mention them, and they just deserve to be mentioned because they're playing some opponent who is going to put up a heck of a fight.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma State, one of Oklahoma State's best wins this year is against Baylor. We're starting to see that Baylor is pretty competent as a program. 4-2 Iowa State. I know one of their losses was to Iowa. I think the other one might have been to Texas. I could be wrong. Either way, not a bad team.
Yeah.
They're going to compete. They're going to try their hardest. And Oklahoma State has to be tired, right? This is just back-to-back tough games that they've played. So we'll see what happens. But I would watch this game, right?
You know, it's like some of those big rivalry games. They don't face Oklahoma until the last game of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they both are by that point.
Yeah.
I think that Oklahoma actually has a fairly easy road to the end. I was looking at the teams that they have left to play.
I would figure Oklahoma State
I don't think
does
any
as
of them
well,
are tough.
though, after Iowa State, because they've already played Texas, they've already played Baylor, they've already played
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who else. Boise, who they should have lost to. No. Moving on.
Number 24, UTSA. So University of Texas, San Antonio. They're going to be at Louisiana Tech. UTSA is undefeated.
Fun backstory. UTSA has never been undefeated or ranked at this point in the season before. So congratulations to you guys for making it to the top 25. Love seeing small programs that we don't see a lot do stuff like this.
That's
it's just
right.
fun.
That is.
I hope they beat Louisiana Tech. I actually know nothing about UTSA.
I don't either.
I haven't seen or heard of any of their
They
games
keep on
up to
winning.
this point.
We'll know more about them.
For sure.
Yeah. So we're up to upsets. Let's talk about your
upsets.
upsets.
I believe I'm
this week.
6-8, or 6-8. So I'm picking LSU over number 12 Ole Miss. This was a tricky pick for me. It's going to be interesting to see how LSU plays now that they know Ed Orgeron is not going to be there next season. Do the players kind of just limp out throughout the rest of the season, or are they going to give it their absolute best? Yeah, do they just fight for him?
For Coach O.
Based off the way that players seem to react and acknowledge him, I think there's going to be some fighting for him. And then, obviously, my second pick is going to be Clemson at number 23, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's only loss is to Western Michigan, which is stunning.
So
not sure how that happened.
So weird. Yeah.
They just demolished Virginia Tech last week, and then Clemson struggled at the beginning of the season. Remember, they almost beat Georgia.
Yeah.
The closest team in the country.
Yeah.
To almost beat Georgia.
Yeah.
So if we go back and look at that game, I mean, because at the beginning of the season we were like, wow, Clemson's trash. Their offense so bad.
Yeah.
Guys, no one's doing anything against Georgia's offense. Defense. Like, it doesn't matter how good your offense is. You're not doing much against Georgia's defense. So really, is Clemson that bad? Probably not. As a matter of fact, I might be so bold as to say Clemson's going to win the ACC.
Ouch.
They only have one conference loss, I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember to who, but I believe they only have one conference loss because they only have one loss besides Georgia.
Well, when you look at the ACC, it's very possible.
Yeah, so I'm telling you.
There's nothing great going on.
I think Clemson's unranked right now. I think Clemson ends the season in the top 10.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Bold prediction.
Yeah, and if they lose to Pittsburgh, I'd take it all back.
Yeah. All right. That's our week 8. Join us when we talk about what happened.